Now, as I stated before, Floyd was trying to make the big fights, trying to fight the top guys, and some of them had fallen through. Some people had backed out of fights, and he fought some guys that were top ranked. And now he was trying to fight the number one ranked fighter who was undefeated at the time, Diego Corrales. But first, he had to have a tune-up fight. You know, as they do in boxing, you have a tune-up fight before the big fight. Well, his tune-up fight ended up being against Emmanuel Augustus. So at this time, when he fought Augustus, the plans to fight Corrales was already in the works to make this big fight between the two undefeated young champions, young fighters, and he had to fight Augustus first. Now, Emmanuel Augustus was 22-16-4, but don't let the record fool you. This was Augustus was basically a much better fighter than what his record showed at the time. Those who are familiar with him know that he was an extremely slick fighter that would sometimes do a little too much showboating in the ring. He was a good defensive counter puncher. He was robbed a lot in a lot of those 16 losses. So you really have to look at his career to see what I'm talking about. I'm not just making excuses. This is all fact and truth. He actually ended up giving Floyd arguably his toughest fight of his career. In fact, if you ask Floyd and his camp, they still to this day, even after the Maidana fight, say his toughest fight was against Emmanuel Augustus. This was another fight that Floyd ended up bleeding in. His nose was bleeding. Augustus busted his nose open. It was a tough fight, but Floyd ended up winning a TKO in the 9th round. Floyd actually hurt his right hand in this fight and fought most of the fight with only one hand. This was also his first fight without his father in his corner since his father had been released from prison. Let's check it out.
The turmoil surrounding Floyd Mayweather Jr. started a year ago. He turned down a $12.5 million 6-fight contract from HBO. Mayweather, though trying to get his life back on track, he signed a 3-fight deal that includes this fight here with KO Nation. He will fight a co-feature on Boxing After Dark. Diego Corrales will be on that card as well. And then he'll meet Corrales in May or June of next year.
Well, the big thing about Mayweather's opportunities here is that maybe that long layoff made him realize that now I got to get back to work because boxing is what I do, not all that other stuff.
Mayweather and Corrales, of course, need to win those fights before they can meet. The last time Floyd Mayweather Jr. was inside a boxing ring, it was in Las Vegas against Goyo Vargas. Mayweather won the fight, unanimous decision in 12 rounds. It was his 5th title defense. But Mayweather could show some rust here.
I don't think so. I think speed kills, and I think that his hand speed is going to be so dominant that the rust, you're going to see it.
All right, here we go. The first round of a scheduled 10-round lightweight non-title bout between Floyd Mayweather and Emmanuel Burton.
Plus, Frank, he's so young that, I mean, he's not even in his prime yet. And, I mean, the rust factor is not going to be that detrimental with a guy with his ability. He's very quick, very fleet-footed, has good hand speed, good punching power, and Burton's got to get used to that before he can even expose the rust.
Mayweather, of course, still holds the 130-pound title. It's a non-title fight because both fighters agreeing they would fight above weight.
It appears to me early Mayweather's going for a knockout early. It's like he said, his father pretty much is more defensive teaching, and Roger is more offensive teaching. And you can see that here. He's not being fleet-footed. He's not moving, not boxing like you're used to seeing. He does it gradually, but he's looking more to connect rather than retreat. Now,
big right hand that time from Floyd Mayweather Jr. The overhand right, one of his favorite shots. Doubles up there to the head of Burton. Combination from Floyd Mayweather Jr. Catches Burton again with a left hand and a right hand. Burton now needs to tie up. Mayweather displaying his speed, quickness, and a little bit of power here in the second round.
He's taking every shot Mayweather landed through against him. He's taking it and he's firing back his own. You got to give him credit for taking these punches because most guys have been on the floor. I guess that's because Burton has fought at bigger weights for bigger men like Diaz and Finger, so he's used to getting hit with hard punches.
Burton, the cut now on Burton's nose. Opened up a little more. Mayweather, look at the leverage. Look at his legs. Look at him plant and then unload. Burton continues to stand in front of Floyd Mayweather Jr. Not the best of ideas. Trying to slug back. Winning a slugfest for Emmanuel Burton is something I'm not sure can happen. The stare down now. Both these fighters like a little showboating with their gloves.
Judges definitely are influenced by the blood, and the referee definitely is influenced.
Short, crisp right hand from Floyd Mayweather Jr., and he catches Burton with a left going that. And Burton plays as if he's not really hurt. He's not scared. Burton now showboating.
I'll tell you, it's deceiving. I mean, Floyd must feel like, this guy my best. Floyd looks like a bloody nose now himself. I'll tell you that. So exactly, he's in a fight. Like you said, you might win this fight, but you don't know he's in a fight.
Floyd Mayweather could be cut from his nose as well, or that could be blood.
Oh, he's bleeding from both nostrils.
Okay.
Himself. Like I said, the one thing, he chose to be more offensive, but in that term, he suffered more punishment than he usually gets.
You leave yourself susceptible by charging in.
His nose is bleeding now. He's getting hit with shots. Like I said, he's not boxing, he's brawling.
What's back has been Floyd Mayweather's right hand. Scoring at will. 5 left hands from Floyd Mayweather.
You see his speed. He's got so much reflex, so much speed. Look at that right there.
Triples up on the left hook and comes back with a right cross.
We're talking here in a ninth round. That kind of speed. So this man is very fast.
And trainer Nelson Lopez ends it. Throws in the towel at 1 minute and 6 seconds of the 9th round. Pretty boy Floyd Mayweather Jr. improves his record to 24-0.
I knew he was going to be tough. That's what I wanted, though.
Mayweather now, the first of a 3-fight contract with HBO. Next up, he'll fight in February, a co-feature. Diego Corrales will be on the card. If both fighters win those fights, then the two will meet for a showdown in the lightweight division in the spring or summer of 2001.
Now it was time for the Corrales fight. Now there was a lot of posturing going on between both camps prior to this fight. A lot of trash talking between Floyd and Corrales, and there was no love lost between these two. They were both undefeated, they were both young, and they were both looking to really advance their careers at this time. So it was great to have this fight. Corrales had already moved up to 135 pounds in the process of negotiating the fight, but he came back down to 130 to fight Floyd for the title. He was ranked number 1 at 135 at the time of this fight. Now, Casamayor had taken the WBA title at 130 that Corrales vacated. So Corrales was 33-0 and a very dangerous knockout artist at this time. This was the first super fight of Floyd's career. 2 undefeated champions going to battle. This was Floyd's greatest performance, I believe, since the Gennaro Hernandez and Angel Manfredi fights. Floyd won by TKO in the 10th round in a dominating performance. Now, at the end, you'll hear Lampley and Foreman start comparing Floyd with some of the all-time greats. But it's funny how people today want to say he doesn't even belong in the same conversation. But they were putting him in the conversation of the all-time greats back then. And the thing is, beating Corrales, I remember as a fan, I was a bigger Corrales fan at the time than I was a Floyd Mayweather fan at the time. I respected Floyd a little bit for what he had done, but I was more of a Corrales fan at this time, and this was the fight that really let me gain the most respect for Floyd myself personally when he beat Corrales the way he did, because I thought Corrales was the best at that time at that weight class, in those weight classes. And Floyd proved me wrong right there, and he dominated Corrales, and Corrales was an excellent fighter. A Hall of Famer in my book. And it was no different than me being a big fan of James Toney and watching Roy Jones in their super fight dominate James Toney. It made me respect Roy Jones at that time. So this was that fight for me and Floyd that I really gained a lot of respect, the way he dominated Corrales. Let's check it out.
Floyd Mayweather Jr. is a brilliant young lion who put thorns into his own paws. While he was sorting out all of his problems outside of the ring, fighting only once in a little bit more than a year, Corrales filled that space with some rousing KOs. Mayweather came back, found that his popularity and his prestige had declined, and suddenly he decided that he was no longer going to be the pretty boy Floyd. He was going to be a snarling Floyd. He was going to be Eminem rather than Britney. He was going to win with and attract people with controversy, and he admits this openly. So he says he's going to win this fight for all the battered women out there, and Corrales is countered by saying he'll win the fight for all the battered fathers out there. This is as bad blood gets in our blood sport, and that's not necessarily a bad thing. Blood is good. Blood is emotion. Blood is a story, a drama. Blood is what we want to see in terms of passion. What we want is a bloody good fight tonight. Mayweather fights in a tradition of boxing and quick-handedness that goes back in Michigan all the way to fighters like Sugar Ray Robinson.
Well, there's a brilliant start to round 7.
The best punch in boxing. Corrales has not used the jab all night.
And the second knockdown of the round for Mayweather.
And the knockdown rule. There are 20 seconds left in the round.
And there's the third knockdown of the round.
5. If you miss him, just throw it.
Another little left hook. Didn't even seem like that big a punch. Corrales' legs are just shot from the multiple punches he's taken.
7, 8.
And Diego Pope.
It's like playing with a cobra. You can be in control, but all he takes is 1 or 2 good shots.
Right hand, another knockdown. 5th knockdown of the fight. 5th knockdown of Corrales' career. Another mark of what a performance it's been. Ray Woods is up on the apron. That's going to be the end of the fight.
Diego Corrales, he's a great fighter, and I think he can be champion if he move up. He got a lot of potential. But, you know, tonight just was my night to shine. I told people, you know what I'm saying, Floyd Mayweather's ranked number 1 pound for pound.
What did all of the bad blood between the two of you have to do in this fight?
Just to show the world who's the best 130-pounder in the world. He said he's the best. I say I'm the best. And so the best
It got pretty personal, though.
It got a little personal, but you know what I'm saying? This is a business. I'm here to sell myself. This is Pretty Boy Floyd. I want to show the world that I'm the best out there pound for pound. I'm the best 130-pounder. So, you know, he said he's the best. I say I'm the best. So we come together and see who's the best.
Do you feel as you get older or that you're getting bolder?
You know, I told you before I can punch. I'm a big puncher, but, you know, I like to just take my time. If the knockout comes, it comes. But I'd like to win the best way I know how, and that's to listen.
Are you determined to stay at 130 where there are other high-profile fighters, or do you want to move up in weight to challenge some of the 135-pounders?
Well, you know, I would like to fight Prince Nassim. Hopefully, we can meet at 128, or he can come up to 130. We can fight, or I can fight the winner of Captain Mayor.
Prince Nassim isn't going to fight you.
Well, everybody want to see
after
that fight.
he saw this,
really
it ain't going to happen.
You know, I really want to fight Prince Nassim, but I know you don't want to fight. But hopefully, I can fight the winner of Captain Mayor and free test.
Harold Letterman compared Floyd Mayweather Jr. to Willie Pep, and other boxing critics, some writers, have compared him to Ray Leonard, Pernell Whitaker. You mentioned Muhammad Ali's performance against Sonny Liston in Miami Beach.